Hello guys, what is up? Jay's Bricks Mix here, back with another LEGO video. This Paw Patrol tutorial is for none other than Chase, number 02. Why did I do Chase? And why is he number 02? I think that image right there answers both questions. Up next is everyone's favorite, not so comedic, but whenever he is comedic, he's hilarious, K9, Chase. When I say up next, I mean up next on building. Okay, Chase is very easy to build. If you saw my Zuma Ready Race Rescue vehicle tutorial, I'll link that down in the description, you'll know that it's basically the same design. You can play around with the back leg. I did that sort of weird thing, because it kind of, I don't know, I feel like that was the best piece I could get to match the hind legs of the pups from the movie. So for the mouth thing here, you have two options. You have brown, which is the one I go with, even if it might look like Zuma. Or you can go with this tan one. I do know that there's a YouTuber with a how to custom print video. I just haven't gotten to check it out yet. If I ever do check it out, I'll probably recommend it. That's the scale. Not totally accurate, but again, you can play around with the legs and other stuff to make your pup however short you want it to be. Why did I go with that size? I don't know. Just look nice. This step is incredibly easy. Stick a 2x3 right in the middle up front. Now, I know what you're thinking here. Whoa, slow down, man. What about the rest of that? Don't worry, there's footage coming up right now that'll help you with that. So basically what you want to do is take your 2x4 Technic plates that you usually use to stick in wheels. Bricks would work as well. Then you want to put a 1x4 on one of them, a 4x8 plate to stretch across the two and hook them together. And then you obviously can see the spring-load missile launcher and those bricks with the holes in the middle. Just keep those there for the whole thing. I moved them eventually, but that was because I had a hard time finding them. So you want to stick a 1x4 snot brick with two 2x2 corner plates on the front of it. That'll be the start for the bottom of it. This here is how we get a cool shooting mechanism there. Why did I want to add that? I have no clue. I just thought it'd be cool, help him catch the bad guys. Remember the 2x3 brick that you put down earlier? All parts I'm putting down right now, just put a 2x6 brick there, okay? I'm going to save you a lot of trouble. Listen to my audio. You're going to want to add these parts. They help hide the missile so you don't see this weird sort of blue thing just randomly sticking out. It's like wall bricks. All the parts I'm putting down here, just put a 4x8 plate. Again, that'll save you some trouble. You're going to see me using some weird parts throughout this video. 2x3 brick for this part. I was trying to burn through a bunch of pieces that I didn't really need, so yeah. 2x4 brick there, actually. You will want to use Technic bricks with holes for this part. It's essential for the end result to work. The 4-stud space between your two Technic bricks, 8 stud, do not cover that up. That's for a little special feature for Chases. So I kind of misplaced that tile in the back. Just put a jumper plate where it is and move that tile to the front. But as for me, I have to destroy this thing and start all over. Later. So this is how you do the lights. Fairly simple. You kind of use the white one to give the lights a bit of, noticeableness. This is the part where we just sort of build it up and try to get to the point where we do the seat. For that black 2x4, I'm going to be putting another one down right behind it, so you can just use a 4x4 plate to, again, save you some parts and trouble. Remember how I mentioned those Technic bricks would be essential for the end result to work? That's because I'm using a building technique, I think it's called snots. like snot bricks. Using snot bricks. Nah, I don't know. Anyway, stick those pins in. Okay, this is the part where I started to design the sides. Any plates I put under here in the footage, just replace that with a 1x8 from the side with the corner to the other side that kind of sticks out the vehicle a bit. And just try to watch the video carefully. Feel free to change the speed to slow it down if you need to. I decided to kind of speed it up into 2x so you wouldn't be sitting here for hours just watching me fix one simple mistake. I kind of changed the designs for the sides of this thing frequently throughout the video, so just watch the bits of me doing the sides carefully. Okay, next we need to stick this thing on the front. That's where we get to do some of the detailing. This is going to be a chunk to a special feature I'm going to add in chases. Did I already say that? I forget. Just trying to estimate how many bricks I would need to do this. From here, it kind of looks like 2 bricks, maybe a couple plates, but... So then you add these wall bricks, and remember what I said earlier about putting plates under it? Again, please follow that rule. So, that 1x2 I just put in is actually going to be replaced with a 1x2x2. For those of you who don't speak the 3D, that's 2 1x2 bricks stacked on top of each other. Pretty sure you know the piece I'm talking about now. And I guess this is me starting the other side panel, or... Oh, this must have been my redesign. Now it's time for me to do a very important test. Will this special feature work? The reason I use Rocky in this footage is because I misplaced my chase figure. And... nope. But I came up with a perfect solution so you can keep the roof height and get this to work. Voila. Just remove the legs and it looks like he's sitting. Or, you know, laying, I should say. Nothing really interesting for this part, just adding some more wall bricks, trying to get it onto an even height. However, there's a little bit of interesting thing here. This is where we start to add the seating for Chase. Just put in 2 2x3 plates, then you do a jumper plate, and a 2x2 tile would work best, but I ended up using 2 air vents. The lights are going to stay there for this first draft. You might be thinking, wait, what? I'll show you how to make it more accurate from this thing after I, get through my year-old footage. The sides, again, I'd just like to make sure you really understand that I keep redesigning the sides here. This isn't the final one. I'll let you know when the final one's on. But you should probably build the older ones so you can adjust. Yeah, this one you build, and then I'll show you how to adjust it from my next bits of sidewall footage. Me talking and pointing out what we're going to do up next for the top. And also me pointing out that we have to fill in those sides, which is my next redesign for them, extending it by 1 stud. I also have to add in some more bricks in there. Okay, this is later. and I finally figured out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put a yellow stripe down the middle where the lights are. Because this vehicle is 9 studs long, I had to design it like that so I can fit the whole mechanism thing, okay? That allows me to put a nice yellow stripe down the middle. You may be thinking, that's totally inaccurate. Again, there's another portion of the video where I explain how to make this model look more accurate to the show. It won't be perfectly accurate, because you've already seen that my character is like twice the size as it should be when it comes to chase. But, I mean, you know, something's better than nothing. Just filling in the wall here, that's always something easy. For the lower 1x1 space, I decided to add a nice little button feature, because I mean, how else does he open it from the inside, right? Noses the button, steps out, stretches, and then goes and gets Marshall out of a tree or whatever Marshall got himself into. The front here is pretty straightforward design. I had a little control panel there to sort of represent the steering wheel. If you want to, you could just take a little Lego video game console and put that there. This is the final shape of it. What I end up doing is putting a yellow 1x4 tile down the middle there. Just below the yellow thing, you know? And I put a 1x3 plate under the 2x4 tile that's sticking out a bit on the end. See, that's what I do. Those are the headlights. I actually switched that corner plate to a black one to, you know, really bring out the headlights to a noticeable. Wait a minute. Do I end up removing the headlights? I think I end up removing the headlights. You can keep them if you want. Your build. The roof, you stack 2 1x4 plates on. Then you're going to stick 2 different jumper plates in there. A 2x2 jumper plate close to the front and a 1x2 jumper plate close to the back. Remember how I said I would squeeze a 1x3 tile under there? Or plate. Yeah. Sides are almost done. Just need to fill in the last couple blue parts. That 2x2 plate that we put there, we're going to put Chase's traffic cones on. And the 1x2 jumper plate, I mean, his standard vehicle from the series doesn't actually have this, but that's going to be where we keep caution tape. You know, your crime scene tape. I just thought it was a cool idea. Because I hadn't seen the Paw Patrol movie in ages, and I rewatched it and go like, wow, these vehicles are way cooler than they are in the series. No offense to any of the original fans. Put a golden star in the middle of that black 2x2 tile I just stuck on the front. That 2x2 jumper plate. And you can make the cones solid if you want, but I kind of had a bit of difficulty finding even one of those solid cone parts. That's the start to the winch. Tiling off the top of there. This is how you can get the sort of cool roof design in that's on most of the Pups cars. And done. Mostly for the sides. There's like one more part there. For the winch, you use a mixel joint. You can use a rope instead of a chain. And you can use a tile instead of a jumper plate, but you know, that's basically how you do it. Important note, be sure to actually add a hook that connects in the mixel joint and the chain, or rope, whatever you use. Just some final preparations and we shall be ready for the demonstration of the one of the cool features I added. There's the chase fig. Some earlier footage when it wasn't exactly all built up. I added that, another inspiration from the movie. This is part 2 of the video, where I show you how to make what you just built even more accurate to the show. Get those brick separators ready, because you're going to need them. Here we are, a year after the previous one, or previous, footage that I recorded. Long story. So the previous footage you just saw, except for the chase build, was from a year ago. However, this stuff is actually this year. All the editing, recording, and the such are stuff I did this week before I posted it. New music, new endeavor. Here we go. Start by stripping off all exterior things that are held on by snot bricks. And in the front, you're going to want to remove that 1x2 snot brick to start to get into Chase's seating area. That is the first place where I strike to keep it low. Those tiles and jumper plates are what we're going to keep. Those 2 plates go in the back. Chuck them in the corner. This is another thing that we're going to shorten, the front of it. Basically, my problem with this whole thing is I made it too tall, so my aim is to make it shorter. You're going to want to use 4 of the air vents and take the winch and stick it on there. The 1x2 tile that you got from Chase's seating area, hopefully, is used to reduce it by 1 stud length. That's approximately 1 brick. You're going to want to remove a couple layers of bricks here. The idea is to shorten this whole thing by 1 brick layer, which means shortening the side panels and the back door to Chase's vehicle by 1 plate. That is okay to stick back on there, the thing I just gave instructions for. The control panel can stay. These go back in there. Quick note about the lights. You need to put a 1x4 brick under them. I'm just going to do that now because I kind of shift a couple bricks around under there. So just go ahead and put that 1x4 under there. Another note is don't put those 1x4 bricks in the ones that are right next to Chase. Yeah, do not add those. I will end up removing them. Just put 1x1s where they're under the plate, And see those sort of weird blue wedges that I stuck on there at some point? That's something I'm going to move onto the side panels themselves using a 1x2 bracket. You can use a 1x2 bracket and a 1x1 bracket, or if you're from the future, you can use a 1x3 bracket. But, I save most of my 1x1 brackets for some Lego set related projects. Paw Patrol is like the only custom build I've done in years where I said I need to make these full color. It's one of those challenges I did with myself. You can see why I end up moving those bits onto the sides with brackets. Just tossing some parts in the back right now, I think. Don't need all of those. We might come back to a few of them. I do remember I put one in the back and I ended up needing it, so just hold on to those parts. Now this is the the corner plates that you used for the winch earlier. Keep those out. This is how we redo the back. We built it in a 4x3 stud length. Oh, I will post the tutorial for Rider next week. That is my promise to you as a YouTuber. What you're going to need to do is add another layer on the back of your 4x3 stud long back door. Use those parts, a 1x2 above where the 2 meet, and 2 1x2 clips to snap it into the overhanging bars. The front of the for the most part, the side panels stay the same. You're going to want to replace some of your tiles to make it, a plate shorter. As for the plates underneath, the only thing that you need to replace is one of the 2x8 plates. You need to replace it with a 1x8 plate. That way, you can actually get it on there. Not changing much this time. This is just me sort of reconstructing it. I've had a few tile rearranges in this video. That's because I needed to find the best way to get what I wanted out of the tiles. Just going to stick you back on the side. And this is later after a bit of part searching. I finally got all the parts I needed to complete. 1x3 tile in there is recommended, but if you don't have that, just use a 1x2 and a 1x1. Why do I feel like I give out all of the easy advice that everyone's going to get? Anyway. Like I said... Oh. I did that? Huh. I was a genius. Right. Those are the brackets I was talking about. Up hanging, not down. That way, you add a bit more curvature, make it less boxy. There's the 1x2 tile you needed, and the 1x2 clips you needed. You have the back door on there. Boom. This is looking magnifique. Comment down below if you're from France, and let me know if I said that right. Or don't, because that's a little weird. Anyway... Keeping, like I said, adding the 1x4 under the lights. Put Chase in there. Oh, you're going to put a 2x4 plate on these wheels, so you can give it a little bit of the slopiness that it's known for in the series, aerodynamics or whatever. That's just me adding one of the missiles. Why did I remove the headlights? I don't know. I recommend keeping him. Nice touch. That's what it looks like next to Riders. Still not perfect, but, still pretty cool. For here, you're going to want to put some white tiling across there. Maybe put it in the middle, but that's how you can obtain max realisticness to the series. Trust me. And that's it for today, everyone. Hope you enjoyed. Please subscribe for the rest of the Paw Patrol vehicles that will be coming out. You have no idea how painful the editing process was for this video, because when I originally filmed most of this footage about a year ago now, I kind of took frequent breaks to find parts in the bins or, change design or whatever in the footage. So I went through and removed the unnecessary footage because this video was about an hour long. Anyway, subscribe, so hopefully you don't miss my other Paw Patrol tutorials. I have a bunch planned, specifically all of the main 6 pups, plus Everest, Tracker, Liberty, and I remember there's other pup from Paw Patrol Dino Rescues, but I can't remember his name. Comment his name down below, please.